What's up, Marvel Snappers, and welcome to another Deck Tech video. Today we're going to be looking at Black Widow from Pool 3, who on reveal adds a Widow's Bite to your opponent's hand. Now this is a very disruptive card because not only does it reduce their cards drawn, because as long as Widow's Bite is in their hand, they cannot draw cards, but they are also then forced to play the Widow's Bite so that they can get their draws on the following turn, which means one of their board locations is filled up with a 0 power card. Now with more Pool 3 cards, you can capitalize on this effect even further, with cards like Debris or Green Goblin that just add additional cards to the opponent's side of the board. But today we're going to be looking at what you can do with Black Widow in an existing Pool 2 deck, and the shell she fits perfectly into is the Infinaut control. With the powerful 20 power Infinaut. If you played a card last turn, you can't play this. So this means you have to skip your turn 5, which telegraphs the Infinaut pretty clearly, which makes it hard to get a lot of cubes, but you can snap ahead of time, and on turn 6 the opponent typically retreats and you can get your 2 cubes, and the deck is fairly consistent. One of the cards that synergizes best with it is Sunspot, who each turn gains power for each of your unspent energy. So when you skip turn 5, Sunspot will actually gain 5 additional power, so you're still progressing your board on the turn you skip, and anytime you don't spend all of your energy on your other turns, you get an additional buff here as well. We are combining that with Iceman to disrupt your opponent, the Black Widow, which disrupts the opponent, Scorpion, which afflicts all cards in your opponent's hand with -1 power, which also disrupts the opponent, and we're trying to just make the game as miserable for them as possible. Combine that with Storm, who turns the location into flooding, making the following turn the last turn cards can be played there. And by doing this with a Sunspot, you're actually able to create a lane that you've already won pretty easily. The perfect follow-up for that is Jessica Jones, who just can become 8 power into the stormed location because you can't play cards there the following turn anyways. To round out the deck, we have a bit more disruption tools in Hobgoblin, who can occupy an opponent's board space and give them -8. And then we also have Claw, who can push power into the stormed location or just spread power on a turn where typically your opponent wouldn't expect you to play power into both locations. And then just to round things out, we have Lizard, who's 5 power for 2 energy, and a great card to be played with Enchantress, who offers the ability to remove the ongoing abilities from your opponent's card. This includes Devil Dinosaurs, Iron Mans, Warpaths, and is just a fantastic disruption tool, and can also turn off the negative ongoing ability of our Lizard. And lastly, we're playing America Chavez. If we don't have Infinaut in hand, we don't want to skip turn 5. So America Chavez helps improve the consistency that we draw Infinaut before then, or it ensures we cannot draw a dead Infinaut on turn 6, because we'll at least draw a 9 power play. Even though this is mostly a Pool 2 deck, it can still compete with Pool 3 archetypes. It's not as strong as the top end of Pool 3, but you can still get some cubes. With that, let's hop into some games. Alright, first location is Atlantis. We'll want to stay out of there for now. Let's just play out an Iceman. Okay, and they have an Ant-Man. Let's get the Black Widow down, disrupt them a bit. It'll help them trigger Ant-Man, but it'll give them an overall low amount of power. Ooh, cards cost 1 less, which is pretty good for us, but also good for our opponent. Lizard won't be good here, because they're going to want to fill it out with Ant-Man. Let's turn this off. We'll be able to cap out the location with a Jessica Jones. And they play a Warpath. But now the Widow's Bite's been played, so they're kind of committed here. We have the Infinaut, so we Jessica Jones, pass, and play Infinaut to Atlantis. Alright, so we've got 10, soon to be 14 power. We don't care about the vault, because we will be playing 25 power to Atlantis. And they are revealing first, because they are winning by more in the vault than we are winning in Flooded, which protects us from a Shang-Chi, and this should be an easy win. Yeah, they knew it was coming with the Infinaut. Poor Black Widow trapped in the vault with all this power. Let's hop into another one. Alright, the first location is Sanctum Sanctorum, and in an unfortunate spot. Let's play Sunspot to the right. We won't be able to Claw here, but if we storm the right, then Claw can potentially get in there if we don't go the Infinaut route. And they play Quicksilver. Maybe it's a Jubilee deck. Dark Dimension is interesting. Yeah, they have the Domino. Let's get Storm down. Ooh, and they wave.
Wind, aid my hand.
Let's go with Claw. Because that'll put 6 here. Plus, when we pass, that'll give us an extra 5. I think we're in an okay spot. To put 9 power here, like maybe they play something bigger? Let's snap and find out. I guess we could have waited to see if they put something here. Since it's only turn 4. Yeah, no, they just play something down. Ooh, they snap back. Okay, it is on. Can Infinaut get there? We'll reveal first, so if that's a Shang-Chi, we're in trouble. But their wave may have helped us. If 24 is enough. Odin, Jubilee, and Magneto pulls out our Storm, but the Sunspot and the Claw is enough to win. Not sure if that was a bot, but that was a nice 8 cubes and shows how the deck functions. Let's hop into another one. Alright, first location is Project Pegasus, which is going to give us a lot of energy to work with. Hopefully they play one big card. And we can go with Scorpion, Jessica Jones. Oh, they play 2 cards, so Scorpion isn't too fantastic now. But it's only 1-drops. So we hit their higher impact cards. Luke's Bar could be a bit problematic if we don't find our Claw, but we could also Storm. We'll hold the Sunspot. we don't want to fill up this location too much. We want the Jessica Jones buff, and we would like to disrupt their hand. Alright, and we get punished with Murder World. But now we just want as much power in Project Pegasus as possible. And as a surprise, Claw on turn 6. Okay. So they have Bucky. We have to be a bit nervous of a Killmonger. We can try and disrupt their draws a bit. We don't need to play this just yet, and we don't want to reveal that we're going to win Luke's bar. Yeah, I don't know if we can count on Sunspot with a potential Killmonger. So let's get the Lizard down. Yeah, and they end up putting a bunch of cards here. And carnaging them. So maybe we could have got away with the Lizard. Ooh, and we have Infinite. We can pass and telegraph the Infinite, but actually end up going Claw and spreading our power, which when they expect an Infinite, that's not how that turn typically goes down. Yeah, so they are anticipating the Infinite now. So we can play Claw. They'll be encouraged to spend 3 of their energy on Killmonger, which would bring them up to 8, 9, 10 with the Nova. And the opponent just retreats. But we didn't need the Infinite to win that game. Let's hop into another one. Alright, first location is Monster Island. We can get Iceman down, disrupt their hand a bit. Okay, an Avengers Compound's gonna force all cards to the middle. Will Scorpion, hitting 4 of their cards. Alright, and now we can Storm.
Wind, aid my hand.
And they go with a Mr. Fantastic. So what we can do here is Enchantress to turn off their buffs, and then plan on going Claw into Chavez. Ooh, so they stay out of the flooding. We probably should have snapped there, because now we're just going to decimate their board. All cards must be played here, so they would have to cap out this location. We can Sure Up Flooded with Claw. And they have Warpath, which brings them up to a decent 13, but won't get up over Chavez. Maybe they still think they're going to get the Spectrum buff, but these 3 cards are no longer ongoing. So Chavez will win us Avengers Compound? Because they can only give +2 to Warpath. Yeah, and they just retreat. Shows you don't need the Infinite or Sunspot to win. I hope you enjoyed the games. This isn't the strongest thing you can be doing in Pool 3, but if you're working with a limited collection, it shows that Pool 2 decks still can compete, and a few cards from Pool 3 can just be nice upgrades to existing archetypes. Linked in the description below is a survey to let me know what Pool 3 cards you would like explored in this manner. And as always, if you have any questions or feedback for me, leave those in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.